All right, everyone. So, hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me? So, what you can do is there's a wonderful way in which we can interact over here, right? Can you see that you have a few reactions below? Can everyone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? You'll have the option of reactions. Yes. So I can see that you're doing it in person also. But yeah, just on your Zoom screen below, you will be having an option of reactions wherein you can, laugh, send me a heart option. You can give me a thumbs up and all of those things. So can everyone give me a, thumbs up? Okay. I see Varshita has given me a thumbs up. Hey, Varshita. I see Vihan has given me a Varsha. Okay. I see Maria has given me one. Trisha, Rhythm. Okay. So yes, everyone has found the icon. Wonderful. So this is how we would be communicating throughout the session, right? Okay, so you would be giving me thumbs up, you would be giving me a yes or no, all of these options whenever you want to communicate with me. So yes, first of all, very let me just go ahead and welcome everyone. Hey everyone, so my name is Parth, and today we have all gathered here for the first ever 98th percentile presents revision marathon. So this is the first ever, kind of an event that we are having over here, wherein it's a marathon of sorts. So do you guys know what a marathon is? How many of you know what a marathon is? You can, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, I see Roshan is saying, he's knows what a marathon is. Very good. I see Sanvi is munching. Hey Sanvi. Yeah, hi, yes. Even you know what a marathon is. So, yes, today we are going to revise our math concepts. And why do we call it a marathon? Because this is not a one time event. We would be having many milestones over here. We'd be, covering many different topics over here. So, I have one quick request. Can everyone just, very quickly go ahead and grab your parents? I have, a very small presentation for them and I need them for just 5 minutes maximum. Could you all please go and very quickly grab your parents? Okay, wonderful. Run, 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 run. I see. Okay, I see parents coming in. Yes. Okay. Very good, people. So please quickly, just run and grab your parents over here. I just need 2 minutes of their times. So I see many of you have brought your parents. All right, wonderful. Welcome, parents. Let me introduce myself. My name is Parth, and let me begin by thanking each one of you for registering your kids for this wonderful event that we have over here. Now, very friendly reminder: we would be recording this session for quality and marketing purposes. So, hey, parents and kids, I want you people to have your smiling faces on, right? Because you never know, you might show up on any particular post on social media of 90th percentile, right? All right. Okay. So, hey, parents, kids, do you guys want to know who am I? A little bit info about me. Okay, so here's something about me. My name is Parth, and I am a math enthusiast. I love maths. Okay, math is kind of my favorite subject, even since I was a small kid. Apart from math, I love traveling. Going to wonderful places, going to mountains. All of these things. This is my hobby. I love reading detective novels. I have been like since childhood, something that has intrigued me the most is detective novels. I like Sherlock Holmes, I like Hardy Boys, and there are so many. I just love reading them. And apart from all of this, I enjoy a lot of times solving math riddles and puzzles, which we would be doing few in this session also. So let's see how many of you enjoy math riddles. All right, so that was about me. Now let's have a brief view of why have we gathered here. Now I see each one of you have tried very hard the entire year. Okay, but we are tensed, right? Because we have so much of syllabus to cover in just one exam. So that is why we are kind of tensed, and we are working hard, but we are not getting fruitful results. So this platform that we are providing over here is kind of an opportunity wherein we would be revising the entire grade 3 curriculum over here. Okay, so that is the reason why we have gathered today, and that is the purpose of revision marathon. Now that was about me. Let me just talk something about 90th percentile. Now I know most of you are aware of it because we have met so many times in previous events. But very quickly, let me just talk about 90th percentile. So 90th percentile is very much trusted online e-learning company. We provide courses for math, ELA, and coding. And guess what? We are going to come up with an amazing new course called public speaking, and this is going to change lives. Trust me. Okay, this is a very wonderful course that we are coming up with. If you feel that you are tensed, for speaking something, speaking in front of people, speaking in the assembly, speaking on top of the stage. This is something that you want to look out for. So more to that later on. Now let's talk about how are we different from other people. There are so many online edutech companies over there, but if you people know about us, you will know that we are actually providing live classrooms. So there would be a teacher like me in front of you, and there would be just four, maximum four students in the class, and I'd be, giving personalized attention to each one of them. Okay, personalized attention to each one of them, and this is how we would focus on your skill gaps and acceleration. Now there are so many benefits of joining 90th percentile. As I mentioned, one is personalized learning. Now how do we keep a track of your improvement? We have a culture wherein we are giving weekly tests and monthly tests, and we are keeping a track of this, all of this using you know access to giving access to award winning platforms. We are focusing on skill gaps. This is something very much important. I had this trouble as a child, very often. So what would happen, like I have come to grade 3, but I would have forgotten the concepts that I've learned in grade 2. Does that happen to you kids? Do you forget something that you had learned, a few months back? It happens, right? So yes, this is what we focus on, skill gaps. We try to identify if there are any concepts from the previous grade that were missing. We would also help you cover those concepts. And all of this personalized learning, tests, award winning platforms, accelerated curriculum, skill gaps, all of this, it is 8 times value for the money that you would be paying. All right. Now, see, this is like what I had to say about us. You would feel, okay, come on, Parth, you work with 90th percentile. So you'd say good things. But let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So we have so many parents of different students over here who have to speak wonderful things about us. So I encourage you people, there are links being shared in the chat section right now. I encourage you people to go to our Facebook page, our Google reviews, and hear it yourself, read it yourself. The wonderful things that the people have to tell, they have to talk about us. All right. Okay. Now, there are so many success stories that we have had. There have, kids have come up and like they had, a lot of trouble, and then they have, so fluent in math. And there is one such success story that I'd like to share here. So meet Gokul. So what happened is, I guess 2 years back, Gokul joined us, and his father earlier had, he had one problem. He said that I was having trouble that my son was not getting good scores in math. Then someone, some of our students' parent recommended that why don't you try 98th percentile? And in just 2 years, you can see the difference. So Gokul is currently doing, honors in algebra, and he is getting 90% of more. So that is the kind of success story that you would be having if you are joining 98th percentile. All right. Now let's talk about why have we all gathered over here. So as we discussed, right, we have gathered here for revision marathon. So what's going to happen? I said the word marathon. Now marathon is not a 100-meter race, right? It is something much more longer. So that is why we have gathered over here. What we intend to do with this marathon is that we would be meeting 5 times in, we would be meeting 5 times in a course of 1 month or something. And why would be meeting 5 times? Because your grade 3, it is having 5 different domains in the math. In the math subject, you have 5 different domains. So we'd be meeting over a course of 5 weeks, and every week, 1 week, one domain. So we would be revising 1 week every domain. And it would be a fun session, right? Because if you guys know the previous events that we have shared with you people, you know that there is a fun element to it. And yes, this time also we have a fun element. We would be revising math concepts one domain at a time, but we would be doing it in the form of a Kahoot. Do you guys love Kahoot? Please give me a heart symbol if you love Kahoot. Yeah, okay, I see Nivan hat banging over here. Hey Nivan, I can see your excitement. I can see Advika sharing a heart. Wonderful. So yes, I can see so many people. Okay, I see. Is that Jaya? Yes, I can see Jaya sharing a heart symbol. Wonderful. So we would be doing all of this, in form of a Kahoot. I see Rishan. Oh, very good, Rishan. All right. So as I said, we would be gathering for 5 weeks, once a week for the coming 5 weeks, and we'd be revising one domain at a time. And these are certain guidelines that we have for the contest. I insist the parents to just have a glance at it. I can read out a few for you. Now, see, I have mentioned the word Kahoot, but this is revision, right? This is not a competition. So we won't be having any winners over here. All the participants are winners because we are learning something new. Second, it is a huge gathering over here, right? So it would be difficult to, identify individual doubts and solve individual doubts. So what I suggest is all the enrolled students who are already learning, teaching, already are a part of 90th percentile. What you can do is you can make a note of those questions which you need, further assistance, and you can ask your teacher in the 90th percentile class. And for all those who have not registered yet to 90th percentile, it's never too late, to go ahead and take a free trial class. Let me repeat, a free trial class. All you need to do is a link would be shared in the chat section. You can just register yourself for the free trial class by clicking on that link. All right. Now there are certain other guidelines. Please make sure that you don't have any distracting backgrounds, and make sure that you have stayed mute and all, so that the entire session goes well fine, right? Okay, kids. Moving ahead. So what are we going to do for the upcoming 5 weeks? Each week we'd be doing one domain, correct? So the first domain that we have is operations and algebraic thinking that we'll be doing this week, that is today. Next week when we meet, we'll be doing number and operations in base 10, then fractions, then measurement and data, and finally geometry. Once we are done with these 5 weeks, I assure you, you would be exam ready. You would be ready for your exams. Now all of these are the benefits of for joining revision marathon. You would be having clearing your math concepts, you'll be prepared for exams, and guess what, all of this with the Kahoot fun element. You would be not having to pay any participation fees, and you'd be getting practice worksheets also. Isn't that amazing? Wonderful. So yes, thank you parents, thank you very much for your time. I understand that you guys have been busy, but thank you for sparing these 5 to 10 minutes. I just have one final request. We are going to begin the Kahoot session, we are going to begin the revision. I just have one final request. If you could just stay for 1 more minute and help your kids, go ahead and set up the devices that we require for Kahoot. Now, for Kahoot, we'd be needing two devices, right? One is this particular screen, maybe a laptop or a desktop that you're using. On this particular screen, the questions will be coming up. So I insist you give the kids a second device also. It could be a tablet or a smartphone, anything. And in that, they have to log into kahoot.it. They have to log into kahoot.it. Very shortly, I'll be sharing the game pin, and they'll have to enter, their nickname, and finally the answers would come up over there. So if a question comes up on this particular screen over here, which is giving you four options, you'll be having four colors, right? Red, blue, yellow, green. If you feel blue is the correct answer, in your smartphone, you will just click on blue and your answer would be registered. You guys are familiar with Kahoot, right? But still just a quick, brief introduction if someone is not. So is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Give me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready. Let me see the excitement. All right. Yes. Okay. I see Advika. I see Sanvi. I see everyone. Okay. I see Varsita, Maria. Come on, everyone. Show me the excitement. Oh, Rishit. Hey, Rishit. How you doing, man? All good? Yeah. Okay. I see Yash, Trisha, Vivan. I see so many faces. Pulkit. Everyone's ready, ready, ready. Here now. Spidey, how you doing? All right. So everyone's kind of ready, right? Khyati is ready. So guys, very shortly, I'm going to share the game pin and let's begin, man. Come on. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Then here we go. Okay. And the game pin is coming up on the screen in 3, 2, and 1. So the game pin is 9399829. The game pin is 9399829. Come on, everyone. You can enter your nickname. That's fine. You can just write your name also. This is not a competition, so it's fine. You can write your names too. Okay, it would be wonderful for me to even read out your names. So I see Arnav, Vivan, I see Ansh, Reina, Sanvi. Okay, everyone, once you have entered your name, make sure your name is coming up on the screen over here. Okay, if it does, it means you have registered successfully. You have logged in successfully into Kahoot. All right, all right, all right. Okay, guys. Let's wait for a few more seconds for everyone to join in. I see so many of you have already joined. Okay. Abhinav has a thunder sign. Yes, Abhinav, we are going to shine. All right. Let's wait for a few more seconds. And if we don't have anyone, we can begin. In the meantime, how about we hear some amazing music? You guys like music, right? Cool, cool, cool. All right, last 30 seconds. People join in if you haven't already. Okay, I see two more people have joined in. Sid the Kid, that's an amazing name. So I have very cute names over here. I have Pihu. Hey Pihu, how are you doing? All right. I guess almost everyone has joined in. Can we begin, people? All right. And it's time. And the question is here. So the first question is, create an equation for the total number of squares shown in the image. Create an equation for the total number of squares shown in the image. Right answers are popping in super quick. Okay, I see answers coming in. Last 5 seconds, guys. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. And I see 27 of you got this correct. That is amazing. And guys, see, don't worry if you're not getting it correct, because that is the intention why we have gathered here, right? We are gathered here to learn something. So let's try to understand this question. The question reads, create an equation for the total number of squares shown in the image. Let's have a look at the image again. Okay. So this is the image that we are having over here. They are saying us to create a multiplication equation. All right. So you remember, here we are supposed to create an equation. Now this would be a multiplication equation, right? Now we have all learned that what is multiplication. Can I say that multiplication is somewhat related to repeated addition? Can I say that multiplication is repeated addition, right? If I say 2 times 3 is 6, if I say 2 times 3 is equal to 6, what does it mean? It means that if I'm taking 3 2 times and if I'm adding it, it is equal to 6, right? So this is multiplication, it's repeated addition. Now let's try to use the same approach over here. So repeated addition, you need to add something repeatedly. But here in this particular image, what needs to be added? So if you focus over here, I have one particular group, and how many squares do I see in this group? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I see that there are 5 squares in this particular group. Now if you look, all the groups are having similar, 5 squares, right? All of them are having 5 squares. So can I say that here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? How many? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 groups. I have 6 groups of 5 squares. I have 6 groups of 5 squares. So we learned multiplication is repeated addition. So in simple words, what could I do? I could have taken 5 and added it how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have taken 5 and added it 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what would I get if I, add all of this? 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 plus 5 is 25, and plus 5 is 30. I would have got 30, right? Now, let's consider this particular statement. They did not ask us for the total number of squares. They asked us to create an equation. So we know that there are 30 squares in total. But if I had to create an equation, how would I write it? It shows that there are 6 groups. Okay, there are 6 groups of 5 squares. So what is this telling us? This is telling us 6 times 5, that I have 6 groups of is always represented by the multiplication sign. 6 times 5, and the total equals to what? 30. Or I could have also written this, that one group has 5 squares, and how many such squares, how many such groups do you have? You have 6 such groups. So 5 times 6 equals to 30. Let's go ahead and see which particular option is giving me this. If you see the yellow option, it is saying 5 times 6 is equal to 30. So did everyone understand how you can use the concept of multiplication as repeated addition, or multiplication as groups of the same number to create an equation over here? If everyone did, please give me a thumbs up, everyone. I want to see you people interacting. Okay, I see Maria, Vivan, okay, Yash, Polkit, Satya, everyone giving me a thumbs up. Jaswin, wonderful. So you guys are understanding. Very good. So I have the next question with the same approach as this. How many of you feel confident that you'd be able to answer it correctly? Okay, I see all thumbs up. Wonderful. Then let's have a look at the next question. But before we do that, let's see, where does the scoreboard tell us? Where are we with the scoreboard? Let's have a look at the scoreboard. So after the first question, Prohan is at number 1. Hey Prohan, wonderful. Now kids, let me tell you, I know 27 of you gave the answer correctly, but why is Prohan on the top? Because Prohan was the quickest to give the answer. So that's totally fine. Everyone of you are performing very well. Let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, create an equation for the number of groups of squares shown in the image. So similar question, you have to create an equation over here. Here's the image that you have. Try to identify which of the 4 options will give you the correct equation. Enjoy the music, guys. And it's time. 43 of you got this correct. I feel super happy because the first time we went ahead a question, similar question, 27 of you got it correct. I explained it, and now 43 of you are getting it correct. That is amazing. Very good. And for the others who did not get it, let's have a look at the question once again. We had to create an equation for this. Let's take the similar approach. Let's try to identify how many groups do we have here. So first of all, in one group, how many squares do you see? 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 squares in one particular group, right? This can be called as one group. Now let's identify how many groups do we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have 9 such groups. So what are they saying? We have 9 groups, and each group is having how many? 4 squares. So 9 times 4 gives us the total of what? 36. So we need to identify the equation we need to identify the option having this equation, and that would have been option number green. And 43 of you got it correct. Wonderful. Guys, clap for yourself. Kudos. Very good. Good going. Now, after the second question, let's see where are we at the scoreboard. All right. And the scoreboard is, okay, I see that there is a change in the scoreboard. Prahan is still at number 1, but Anish has come up to number 2. Very good, Anish. Guys, the scoreboard would keep on, moving up and down. You don't need to worry about it. Just focus on answering the correct question, okay? And the next question is, all right. Jenny's math book states that 17 times 45 is 765. Oh my God, that's a big number, right? But if this equation is correct, which of the following options must also be true? Okay, you have 17 times 45 is 765. If this is correct, which of the 4 options below should also be correct? That's the tricky one, right? But that is not stopping you guys to answering quick. I see now already 33 of you answered. Very good. Guys, take your time. We still have 25 seconds remaining. And we have last 10 seconds. I see almost everyone has answered this. Okay, I guess just one of you is remaining. And it's time. 40 of you got this correct. Isn't that amazing? Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So let's understand this. So if you people know, when we learned multiplication, we came across certain, properties. We came across certain properties. Okay, we came across certain properties. Now, which particular property out of these, out of the options that we have over here, which particular property from these is being satisfied? That is what we need to understand. Is there anyone from you who would like to answer? Which property am I talking about? You can just raise your hand. You can raise your hand. Okay, I see Maria has raised her hand. Hey Maria, try to unmute yourself. Yes. Which property are we talking about over here?
Commutative property.
Wonderful, Maria. A big round of applause for you. So guys, that is correct. Correct, everyone. So the property that we are talking over here is the first property for multiplication. That is, it's not commutative, it's commutative. It's commutative. So the first property that we have is commutative. Okay. Now let's understand how, using commutative property, are we able to solve this particular question. So for that, we need to understand what is commutative property. So what does commutative property say? That if we are multiplying two numbers, okay, if we are multiplying two numbers, let's take the most two basic numbers. Okay, let's take the two most basic numbers. How about I take, 2 and 3? Isn't this simple? So 2 times 3, 2 times 3, that would equal to 6, right? Now, what if I change the sequence of multiplication over here? Okay, instead of doing 2 times 3, what I'm going to do now is I'm changing the sequence over here. I'm doing it 3 times 2. So what happened over here? Look at the name. It's commutative. Commutative means you commute from one place to another. You're commuting from one place to another. So what happened? 2 commuted to 3 and 3 commuted to 2. So it's the same two numbers, right, guys? It's the same two numbers which are being multiplied. If you do 2 times 3 or 3 times 2, you would notice that you're getting 6 in both of these cases. So now let's understand, what does commutative property say? It tells us that if you are multiplying two numbers, if you are multiplying any two numbers, even if you change the sequence of multiplication, okay, even if you reorder them, you would still get the same product. You would still get the same product. Now let's focus on our particular equation over here. Let's focus on our particular equation over here. We have 17 times 45 is equal to 765. Now we know that these are pretty huge numbers, right? But that should not make a difference. I just need to remember my commutative property. Here they are saying which of the following also must be true. So if 17 and 45, if they are, if I change the sequence, if I reorder them, if 17 commutes to 45 and 45 commutes to 17, the product would still remain the same, right? So the correct answer would be 45 times 17 is equal to 765. And I am super glad that 40 of you got this correct. And the other 5 who did not, I hope you all have understood this, right? Please give me a thumbs up if you understood this. Are we good with commutative property, people? Okay, I see thumbs ups coming up. Very good. So let's move on to the next question. And here we go. So the scoreboard. Okay, Prahan is like super stuck over here. It's like, I will do anything, but I'll not leave my first place. Good going, Prahan. Very good. But I see Anish. And hey, Neela is the highest climber. She has climbed up 10 places. Good going, Neela. Very good. Let's check the next question. What is it? So next question says, which of the following expressions will have the same solution as 7 times 4 times 8? Right? Keep the answers coming in, guys. Keep the answers coming in. Last 10 seconds. I see that few of you found this a bit difficult. It's fine, it's fine. You need not worry. You need not worry. That is why we have gathered here, right? We have come here to understand the questions, the concepts that we are missing. We have come here to fill those skill gaps, right? So let's understand the question. The question is telling us which of the following expressions will have the same solution as 7 times 4 times 8. As 7 times 4 times 8. Okay. Now, if you remember in the previous question, we talked about a property for multiplication that was commutative property. Can anyone else tell me about the second property of multiplication over here? Let me see who knows the second property of multiplication. Come on, think. We had commutative property. Which other property for multiplication can be used? Okay, I see Vikram raising his hand. Hey, Vikram.
I think it would be distributive property.
Distributive. Okay, Vikram, I am afraid that would not be correct, but good try. At least you know of the property. Very good. Anyone else who feels they knows the answer? Okay, I see Tiana over here. Hey, Tiana.
Associative property.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very good, Tiana. So yes, the second property for multiplication is what? It is associative property. Okay, we have associative property. So now let's understand what does the associative property tell us. Okay, now it is clear from the word associative that it's talking something about association. Okay, it's talking something about association. Yes, so let's try to understand this. So here you have 7 times 4 times 8. What does the associative property tell us? That if I first do the product where 7 is being associated with 4. If in the first case I am trying to do the product where 7 is being associated with 4, okay, and then this particular product is being associated with 8, I would get the same answer. I would get the same answer, okay, if I have again 7 times 4 times 8. If instead of, first being 7 associated with 4, if I take first 4 is being associated with 8. Okay, so in this case, if you look, I would be having 7 times, what is 4 times 8? It is 32, right? Let's try to understand this first with smaller numbers. Now I understand these numbers are pretty big, right? Let's take smaller numbers. Okay, so let us say we have 1 times 2 times 3, and again we have 1 times 2 times 3. Okay, we have two different set of numbers over, sorry, the same set of numbers, but I've made it in two different parts. Why? Because we are taking two associations. In the first case, I am associating first 1 with 2 and then the product with 3, and in the second case I am first associating 2 with 3 and then with 1. Let us see if we are getting the same answer or not. Okay, let us see if we are getting the same product in both the case. So if I first do this particular association, I get 1 times 2 is 2. Correct? 1 times 2 is 2. You know what? The multiplication fact of 1 is my favorite since childhood. Is the most easiest and the best. 1 times 2 is 2. And if I go ahead and do that with times 3, 2 times 3 gives me what? Yes, you guessed it right. It is 6. 2 times 3 gives me 6. Now let's go on to the second case. All right. Here we have first associated 2 with 3. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. And now I would be multiplying 1 with the product. 1 times 6 is also giving me 6. So did you people understand association? Right? It does not matter which two numbers you associate first. If all of them are in multiplication, the product would always remain the same. In that particular case, if you look here, if we are not going with the first association, if we go with the second association, 4 times 8 gives us what? 32, right? So this expression would be equal to what? 7 times 32. Did everyone understand this? Oh my god, I see so many of you already answered in the chat. Wow, very good, kids. Very good, very good, very good. I see that all of you are paying really good attention and you guys are also understanding this. Very quickly, let's move on to the next question. Okay, then. The next question. Okay, but we have a change in the scoreboard. Prahan is rock solid And we have Tej coming up. Hey Tej, very good, good going. And not just Tej, we have 4 new places in the scoreboard. We have Tej coming up, then we have SI, Anish, and Marmik. Cool names, huh? Yeah. Okay, so let's check the next question. Which expression is equal to 9 times 5? Which expression is equal to 9 times 5? Come on, guys. I'll give you a hint. This is the third property of multiplication. Which property is the third property of multiplication? Come on, everyone. Try, try, try. If you've given the answers, you can dance with me to the tune of the music. Yeah. Okay, I see people are dancing with me. Very good. Okay. Arnav is kind of super happy. Yes, I got this correct. Very good. All right, then let's check this. So 22 of you got it correct. That's very good. And others, don't worry. That is why we are here. Don't fear, Parth is here. I'm here to clear your doubts today. So let's understand how. So yes, first of all, I gave you guys a hint that we'd be using the third property of multiplication. Which of my super champs over here would like to tell me which is the third property? Maria, I see you are raising a hand. Can I please give a chance to someone else? Next time I'll give you a chance, definitely. She's so sweet, Maria. Thank you. Hey, Satish. Okay, I see Satish raising his hand. Hey, Satish.
Just so you know, my name is actually Ansh, and
Okay.
so I'm just using my dad's account because
Okay,
I
okay.
can't really use my account on Zoom.
That's fine.
So basically, what the why the triangle answer was correct is because 9 times, so the 9 times 2 is 18, right? And 9 times 3 is a 27. So 27 plus 18 would be 45.
So, Ansh, that is actually a good approach.
And
But
9 times 5 and 9 times 5 is equal to is 45. So basically, that would be the correct answer.
okay, now it is 9 times, and you know 9 times, right? You know the multiplication fact for 9. But what if it was 19? Wouldn't it be difficult then? So that is why we have this property, the third property, and that was my question. Who can tell me what is the third property? Okay, I see Sanvi raising her hand, and Advik. Okay, Sanvi, let's ask Sanvi. Yes, Sanvi.
It's the distributive property.
Wonderful, Sanvi. Everyone, please give a big round of applause for Sanvi. That is correct. Very good, Sanvi. Very good, very good. Okay. Now I see so many people are raising hands. I will try my best to give each one of you chance, one question after the other. Okay, cool. So yes, now let's understand distributive property. We know that the correct answer would be distributive property. Now let's understand it. Okay, so yes, there we go. Let me just write it down. So here we have, oops. Okay, please bear with my terrible handwriting. Okay, so this is what distributive property. Now, if you look closely, the word, see, all of the words had a different meaning, right? Commutative came from the word commute, move from one place to another. Associative came from the word association. One number is being associated with the other. The same way, distributive comes from the word distribution. You distribute, right? You have something and you distribute it. Can I simply say that when you say about distributed, you're actually dividing it into certain parts? It may not be equal groups. It may not be equal groups, but you're dividing it, right? You're distributing it. Let's take an example. What if I had, let us say, 15 candies? I had 15 candies, and now I am distributing it into different parts. Okay, let's take the same approach now. What is my expression talking over here? My expression is talking 9 times 5. 9 times 5. Now I know, the fact for 9, for few, it is easy. For few, it can be difficult. For few, it's easy. For few, it can be difficult. But what if I go ahead and, I take this number 5 and I divide it into two parts. Okay. I divide it into two parts such that the multiplication becomes easy for me. The multiplication becomes what? Easier for me. So can I divide this 5 into 2 and 3? 2 plus 3 gives me 5, right? 2 plus 3 gives me 5. Now, if you look at the option, what is happening? Here 9 was being multiplied with 5. 9 was being multiplied with what? 5. But what is 5? 5 is 2 plus 3. 9 was being multiplied with 5. Okay. What is 5? 5 is 2 plus 3. Are we good so far? 9 was first being multiplied with 5. But now what is 5? 5 is 2 plus 3. I can write 5 is 2 plus 3. So in simple words, now here I had just one number. Here I have two numbers. So I'll have to multiply 9 with both of them. I'll have to multiply 9 with both of them. So can I first do 9 times 2? Then I do 9 times 3. And here they are saying 2 plus 3 gives me 5. So how about I add both of the products? Did you people understand how did I use distributive property to get this expression? What does distributive property tell us? That if you have two numbers, let us say that you have, two numbers, like same you have 9 times 5. You are breaking down the, one number into two different parts, and then you're multiplying the first number with both of them. So you divided the number into two parts so that the calculation becomes easier. It might be difficult for 9 times 5, but 9 times 1 and 9 times 2, 9 times 3 is easy, right? You can say 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27. So that is how using distributive property we can solve this question. Did everyone understand this? Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Okay. I see many people giving me thumbs up. Very good. So did this affect the scoreboard? It did. So Prahan is rock solid, but everyone else has changed kind of. I see Besh, I see Ishan has come up, Pihu has come up, Reina rules. That's a cool name, huh? Very good. I see Ishan come up. Okay, so there are two Ishans. Ishan, okay, that's good. Let's very quickly move on to the next question. Rounding, round 417 to the nearest 10. Come on, this is easy. Nearest 10. All right. Second, guys, hurry up. Okay, and 36 of you got this correct. Very good. See, rounding is kind of my favorite topic. I just love the topic of estimation and rounding. Okay, now let's understand this. Here we had to round to the nearest 10. Okay, nearest 10. When we talk about 10, what are we talking about? We're talking about the tens place. We're talking about the tens place. The number is what? 417. When we say 10, it means we're talking about the tens place. Can I say this is the ones place? This is the tens place. This is the hundreds place. So when I say that I have to round to the nearest tens, what I'm actually saying is I need to round to the nearest tens place. So in simple words, they are telling us that I need to round this particular place. Okay, I need to round this particular place. Now there are two ways of doing this. Let me explain both of you. Okay, the first is slightly complicated, but it would be much more helpful, in a longer run. Let's try to understand. When you want to, round a number to the tens place, okay, you check the digit after that. You check the digit after that. If this digit is 5 or greater than 5, if this digit is 5 or greater than 5, if the digit over here is 5 or greater than 5, you increase the value by 1. You increase the value at tens place by 1. So you see 7 is greater than 5. So what would happen? 1 would increase by 1. So 1 plus 1 makes it what? 2. So the number becomes what? 4. 1 becomes 2. And always the number that you're rounding, all the digits after that number become 0. The number that you're rounding to which place? You're rounding to tens place. So all digit after tens place would become what? 0. If you're rounding to hundreds place, all the numbers after the 100 place becomes what? 0. So this becomes 420. Now this was a way which was slightly complicated, but it would be helpful in the longer run. Now let's look at the easy way of doing it. Okay. So they're saying rounding to nearest tens. So when you say tens, what do you mean? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that's rounding to tens, right? So here we have the number 417. What you do, you imagine this number on the number line. You imagine this number on the number line, okay, and you try to identify, where. So if I am having 417, okay, you have the tens place before that is 410, and the one after that is 420. And if you have this as the number line, between 410 to 20, where is this 417 coming? It would be coming somewhere over here, right? And then you ask yourself, whom is it more closer to? Is it closer to 410 or is it closer to 420? You will see that 417 is more closer to 420, right? So that is how you would round it to the next tens place. Did everyone understand this? If it was something as 413, it is more closer to 410, right? Then you would have rounded it to 410, but it is not. So we rounded it to 420. Are we good? Very good. All right, very quickly, let's move on to the next question. And okay, before that, the scoreboard is just one change. Vikram has come up. Vikram, good going, buddy. Let's see what the next question is. Round 873 to the nearest 100. We just learned the same approach, nearest 100. Come on, everyone. And once you have given the answer, you can dance to the tune. Yeah, very good. Last 5 seconds. And 40 of you got it correct. Wonderful. This is amazing. See, once you have revised the concept, which we did in the previous question, right? Things become so easy, right? So that is the purpose of revision marathon. We are here to revise all of our concepts. You know certain things. It's just that you have to revisit it once. And the same thing we are doing over here, right? So here you needed to round 873 to the nearest 100. You put 873. Now you have, what are the two numbers before it? You have just before that the nearest 100 would be 800 and the one after that would be 900. So you try to imagine 800 would be this much far from it and 900 would be closer to it, right? Yes, it's as simple as that. You just have to identify which is more closer. Okay, to which are you? See, what is the word saying? Nearest. So what is more near to 873? Is 900 more near or 800? So the correct answer is 900, right? Very good. And that is how you identify that 900 would be if you round 873 to the nearest 100. Good going, guys. Let's very quickly move on to the next one. I didn't take this scoreboard right now. Let's check it in the next one. Round 1547, 1547 to the nearest 1000. Okay, let's see what you guys get. Last 5 seconds. And time up. 33 of you got this correct. Wonderful. Very, very, very good. Again, same approach. What would be the previous 1000 and what would be the next 1000? Okay, you just see the previous 1000 would have been 1000. The next 1000 would have been 2000. So what is more closer? See, 1000 and 2000. What does the number come in between? 1500. 1500 is in between. So if you see 1547 is kind of more than 1500. So it is slightly moving more towards 2000 over here. Correct? It is moving slightly more towards 2000. And that is why the correct answer would have been 2000. Very good, people. So I'm sure you guys are clear with the concepts of rounding because we have few more questions based on rounding over here. So let's very quickly move on to the next question. We would check the scoreboard after, let's say question number 13. That would be more fun. So Samantha has 2 dozen eggs. Each dozen contains 12 eggs. The recipe she is using uses 8 eggs. How many eggs will she have left with the recipe? Okay. Let me read it again. Samantha has 2 dozen eggs. Each dozen contains 12 eggs. The recipe she is using uses 8 eggs. How many eggs will Samantha have left when she is done with the recipe? Think. You have to imagine the sequence in which the question is being going. All right, all right. And 3, 2, 1. Time out. 32 of you managed to get this correct. Wonderful. Let's understand the sequence over here. Okay, so here they are saying that Samantha has 2 dozen eggs. How many eggs does she have? See, the first question whenever you're approaching a word problem is you try to understand what information are they giving us. So what is the information that they give us? That she has 2 dozen eggs. That is the first piece of information. Now let's see if there is any additional information. Each dozen contains 12 eggs. Each dozen contains 12 eggs. She is having how many eggs? 2 dozen. Each dozen contains 12 eggs. So here we would be doing what? 2 times 12 would give me the total number of eggs that she had. 1 dozen, 12 eggs. 2 dozen would be what? 2 times 12. Correct? Now they are saying the recipe she is using uses 8 eggs. See, what are they saying? She is using. So there are two things. If you are adding more or if you are, taking away. If you are using the eggs, it means from the number of eggs that you have, the number of eggs would decrease, right? Because out of these number of eggs, you are taking away 8 eggs. And what symbol do you use for taking away? It means subtraction, right? So it would be what? You are subtracting 8 eggs from this. So how many eggs would she be having left? She would be having 2 times 12 minus 8. And this is how we represent it in form of equation. And that is the option green. I hope everyone has understood this. Wonderful. Okay, very quickly, let's move ahead. As I said, we'll be checking the scoreboard after question number 13. Let's see if there is a change. So find the pattern in the table and use it to enter the missing value. Okay, so there is a pattern that's happening over here. Try to identify and fill in the blank. What would come over here? Think, think, think. All right. Very good. Many of you have already answered this. I guess only 2 of you are remaining and you still have time. It's fine. Just 1 of you is remaining, okay? So all 45 of you have answered this. 46. Very good. And oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just 2 of you got this incorrect and everyone else got it correct. That is amazing. That is amazing. So let's understand the question over here. So there was one such rule that is happening over here, right? Now we are learning multiplication and division. So but obviously you had to think something for multiplication and division. But let's try to identify 1 and 9. What is the relation that's happening? Try to look at 3 and 27, 4 and 36. So if you see if I do 1 times 9, that gives me 9, right? But you have to see if it is a pattern, it should be true for all of the equations. Is this pattern being true for the next equation, 3 times 9? Yes, it does give me 27. Is it being true for the next one, 4 times 9? Yes, it is giving me 36. So the pattern would hold true for this also. So 2 times 9 would give me what? 18. And that is how we solve this question. See, remember, if you're going from a smaller number to a bigger number, it means you're multiplying. If you'd be going from a bigger number to a smaller number, it means you would be what? Dividing. So let's see if you guys can solve the next question. The next one is similar to this. It's just the other way around. Let's see if you guys can solve it. Very quickly, let's have a look at the next question. We have a similar pattern and you have to enter the missing value. Let's see if you can do it, as quickly as possible. Similar question, right? Good. Answers are coming in. Very good. Yes, just one person is remaining. All right, all right. Take your time, guys. Take your time. And here we go. 45 of you got this correct. See, very well, you people have understood. So the same thing. If you're going from small to big, you had to multiply. Now you're going from big to small. So 7, how would you reach 1? There are two options. If you subtract 6 from 7, but if it won't be the same case, 21 minus 6 won't give you 3. So second is what? 7 divided by 7. 21 divided by 7 gives 3. 28 divided by 7 gives 4. The other way, 1 times 7 is 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. So the correct answer would be what? 2 times 7 is equal to 14. And all of you got this correct. Wonderful. Let's move on to the next question. Choose the correct option. Okay, we have a word problem. A teacher asks if his class to create a pattern where the next number can always be found by subtracting 4. So look at the pattern where you are subtracting 4 to get the next number. We know what patterns are, right? Try to subtract 4 and see if you're getting it or not. Okay. Let me have some water. Last 5 seconds. And it's time. Very good. 34 of you got this correct. Isn't that amazing? No problem. So if you remember, we have another topic in this particular domain which talks about patterns. Let's talk about what patterns. So see, what are patterns? We just saw patterns in the previous questions also. In pattern, you will see that there is one such rule that is common for all of them, for all consecutive numbers. So here they are saying we had to identify the pattern. We had to identify the pattern where the teacher asks his class to create a pattern where the next number can always be found by subtracting 4. So this is it. We had all 4 options. You keep on subtracting 4. Do you get the next number? If yes, that is your pattern. If not, that is not your pattern. So let's try doing that. Let's try doing that. So here, if we look at the first option that we have here we had 35. The next number was 30. What was the pattern? You had to subtract 4. But if I do 35 minus 4, I would be getting 31, right? Which is not equal to 30. Understood why was this option incorrect? Very good. Okay, look at the next option over here. 20 and 16. So if I do 20 minus 16, that gives me 4, right? But see, a pattern is true if it holds for each and every number. Let's try the next two numbers. You have 16 and 12. If I do 16 minus 12, I do get 4, right? Let's try the next two numbers. 12 and 8. If I do 12 minus 8, I am still getting 4. So you see, if the same pattern is followed for the entire series, entire sequence of numbers, then that would be the correct option. And this is how you solve a pattern question. You just go through each and every option and try to find the one where your condition is being satisfied. I hope everyone has understood this. Okay. Now, okay. I see everyone is, doing really well understanding. Do you people remember earlier I said that we would be doing math riddles also? How many of you are game for a riddle? Are you guys ready for a riddle? Okay, then let's do a math riddle. So I have a very simple math riddle. I'm writing it over here. You can just raise your hands and tell me what is the correct answer. How do you how do you get from 34 to 12? How do you go from 34 to 12 using just one letter. Using just one letter. Okay, you guys can raise your hands if you feel you know the answer to this riddle. How do you get from 34 to 12 using just one letter? Think, 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 think. This is a math riddle. Think, think, think. You are at 34, you need to reach 12. How do you reach from 34 to 12 using just one letter? Not a number, just a letter. Okay, come on, guys. Think, think, think. So, who is raising their hands? Come on, guys. Raise your hands if you feel you know the answer. Anyone, anyone, anyone? Okay, I see Aditya raising his hand. Okay, let me unmute Aditya. Hey, Aditya. Okay, Aditya is not here. Anyone else? Okay, Yash is raising his hand. Yash, do you want to answer? Okay, Yash, I have unmuted you. Try to answer.
Yeah, I think so.
How do you get from 34 to 12 using just one letter? What is that letter? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What is that letter? Think, think, think.
I said B.
B?
No, B. B.
V.
Yeah,
Okay, why do you feel it's V?
because I counted. Like I counted like A, B, C, D like to the 20 alphabet. So
That would be incorrect. Okay, I see Pulkit and Rishit also wants to answer. Let's ask Pulkit. Hey, Pulkit.
I think T
T, and why do you think it's T?
because 34 minus 12 is 22, and to write 22, you can say T. TWELTY. So the first
Okay.
letter is T.
So that was like a big math thinking. I'm sorry, but that is not the correct answer. Rishit, would you like to answer? Yes, Rishit.
My answer was V, but now I know that's incorrect.
Okay, guys, be ready for your minds to be blown. This is a math riddle, so you have to think, out of the box. The correct answer is X. The correct answer is X. What was the question? You are at 34 and you have to reach 12. If I use the alphabet X and I put it in between, isn't 3 times 4 equal to 12? We are doing multiplication right now. Isn't that amazing? Cool. Okay, wonderful. But congratulations for everyone who was trying really hard. Okay, this was a fun one, right? Okay, let's move on to the next question real quick. Round each number to the nearest 10 and subtract to estimate the difference. So you first round and then you subtract. You first round and then you subtract. The question is what? 343 minus 228. You round to the nearest 10 and then subtract. Come on, everyone. Try. Okay, I see answers coming in. Very good. First round and then subtract. Please don't do the opposite. First round and then subtract. Five seconds. And it's time. Wow, 30 of you got this correct. Very good. So see, we just learned rounding in few questions back, right? Let's check this. So 343 rounded to the nearest 10. 43. So 40 or 50? 43 is closer to 40, right? So this number would become what? It would become 340. You have to subtract. You have 228. See, nearest 10. So think of 10. You have 28. 28 is more closer to what? 20 or 30. 28, you take two steps. 20 and 30. You reach 30. For 28 to go back to 20, you'll have to take 7 steps, right? 8 steps. So what is it more closer to? It's closer to 230. So if I subtract 340 minus 230. What do I get? 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 minus 3 is 1 and 3 minus 2 is 1 and that is 110. Did everyone understand this? Yes or no, guys? Everyone, please give me a thumbs up if you did understand this because the next question is similar to this. I want you all guys to get this correct. Okay, I see everyone giving me a thumbs up. Yeah, yeah. Very good. Okay, then let's get ready with it. So, guys, this is the last question now. This is the last question, and after this, we would be checking the scoreboard. So, make sure you people are giving the correct answers properly. The last question and a similar one. And the last question of today is what? Round each number to the nearest 100 and add. In the previous question, what were you doing? You were subtracting. Here you have to add, but round to what? Nearest 100. First round and then add. Let's see how many of you gets this correct. I am pretty sure all of you would get it correct. Come on, let's see. Cool. Okay, last 20 seconds. First round and then add. And it's time. Okay, then let's just check this. 37 of you got it correct. That is pretty amazing. Oh, really good, really good. Now let's understand this. So what did I say? They are asking us to first round and then add. First round and then add. Okay. And round what? To the nearest 100. So what are the two numbers that we have here? We have 516 plus we have 198. So you think 516 is more closer to what? Is it more closer to 500 or is it more closer to 600? What is it more closer to? It's clear, right? It's more closer to 500. So the option over here would be what? 500. Let me think. 198 is more closer to what? 100 or 200? It's more closer to 200, right? So 500 plus 200 gives us what? It gives us a total of 700. And that is how everyone got it correct. Wonderful, kids. That all of you got this correct. Now let's just see where do we start at the scoreboard. Okay, so we have on the top of the scoreboard at number 3 we have Asai. Very good. At number 2 we have Prohan. Okay, so there's someone who beat Prohan. And number 1 is Ishan. Congratulations to Ishan, Prohan and Asai and Pramay and Pihu. All of you did a wonderful job. Wonderful. Okay, guys. Now, guys, I have one request. Very quickly, could you people please go call your parents? I just need them for 2 more minutes. That's it. I just need them for 2 more minutes. Could you please go ahead and call your parents for, just last 2 minutes? Very quick. Wonderful. I see many people calling their parents. Okay, parents are coming in. Cool. So yes, let me begin. Once again, welcome parents, welcome kids, and a big tap on yourselves. We did it. Congratulations, guys. We successfully revised the entire domain, operations and algebraic thinking. Isn't that amazing? First of all, let me, just go ahead and clap for each one of you for being such a wonderful audience. And, you participated really well. You're giving good answers to me. So first of all, congratulations on that. And congratulations on successfully revising the domain. Now, parents and kids, what next? What next? See, math is a subject that requires thorough revision. Math is a subject that requires what? Thorough revision. And that is why, what we'd be doing? We would be sending you worksheets in homework, practice worksheets. We revised the entire domain today, correct? Now you would be practicing worksheets of the same domain so that, you have excelled on that particular lesson. So the next time when we meet, you would be thorough with the first domain. Now, what next? We'd be meeting again after 1 week. Okay, so next week, 18th April, same time. And this time, what we'd be doing? We'd be doing the second domain, that is number and operations and base 10. As I said, this is a marathon, one milestone at a time. And our milestone is what? It's one domain. So we completed one domain today. Next Friday, we know we'd be next time when we meet, we'll be completing the second domain. And in the 5 weeks, we'll be completing the entire syllabus. Now, kids, you know that we come up with wonderful events, right? Parents and kids, I have something most amazing and exciting for you people. We are coming up with the first ever and never seen before, event coming up next. Okay, tell me something. How many of you like, reading comic magazines, reading books and all of them? Reading stories, designing and all of that. So many of you do, right? And that is our next event. That is our next event. That is 98th Percentile Presents Comics. How many of you like comic magazines? Okay, I'll be honest. My favorite superhero is Superman. How many of you have your favorite superheroes? Who is a big fan of Avengers? Okay, I see that Ansh is sharing is, yeah, he's dancing behind. Okay, so many of you have your favorite superheroes, right? You love reading comic magazines, you love watching such movies and all. Now let me explain what is this comics event. In this event, I'm going to teach. Okay, so we would be teaching you two things. First, imagine you have the liberty to create your own superhero. You would be having the liberty to create your own superhero with your own superpowers. So think of, the most coolest superhero possible with the most coolest superpowers. You have thought about it? We will be teaching you how can you develop a story around it. Yes, we'll be teaching you how can you develop a story around it. And not just that, we would also be teaching you how would you design and present that story in form of a comic strip. We would be teaching you how do you go ahead and present that story in form of a comic strip. Isn't that amazing? Give me a big thumbs up if you guys are ready and excited for this. Are you guys excited for it? Wonderful. Now, what is the fun if it's not a competition, right? So this, when all of you would be creating your comic strips, we would be having a competition. We would be uploading it somewhere and then we'll see who's getting maximum number of likes, who's, and then the person getting maximum number of likes would be the winner. Are you guys excited for this? So parents, you know what you can do is I'm just sharing a link in the chat section for further details of the event. We are having it in June. We'll be first teaching them and then we'll be having the competition. This is going to be super fun. So yes, I'm super excited and looking forward to this. If you guys are, you can just check out the page that is being shared in the link. And that's it. We have reached the end session for today. Now it was a super fun session. I enjoyed a lot. Did you guys enjoy a lot? I had a really good time with you people. If you did, then let's just have a wonderful group photo to cherish this memory. I want everyone to give me a thumbs up or a victory symbol. And everyone smiles. Make sure you have the widest of smile possible. Yeah. Okay then guys, we'll be meeting again next week, 18th April, same time. Until then, please stay safe, stay at home, take care and have lots of fun. Okay, bye-bye parents, bye kids. It was super fun today. We'll be meeting again next week. Bye-bye. This is Parth signing off. Bye. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.